Chapter 4, minitab. We could consider many sets of variables to summarize a county's economic status or the county's poverty status. I will examine the variables to identify a set that might be used to measure a county's public schools and public education. There are many variables that I can consider. Using the minitab command, stat, basic stats, correlation, I will select the variables to investigate for internal consistency. I want to find 3 variables, but I'm going to include 6 because there may be variables that are negatively correlated. I'm going to select population, licensed daycare facilities, several items about public school final enrollment, faculty, per student expenditures, and then also the graduates. And then I just hit OK, and I've got the correlation matrix now, which is what I'm going to look at to determine what might be used, would be a good set of variables to use. Notice when I look at this, the per student expenditure variable is negatively correlated with all of the other variables. So I'm going to eliminate that variable. The variables must be positively correlated to be considered. And then of the remaining variables, I notice that population is highly correlated with all variables. And that might be related to the fact that when we look at licensed daycare facilities and the public school finances, the faculty, and the graduates, that those are directly related to population. And we might want to think about standardization of those variables so that we can compare counties with large populations with counties with small populations. So rather than saying there are 1,000 daycare facilities in a county population of 1 million, is that the same thing as having 50 daycare facilities in a county with a population of 50,000? And we could figure out a way to standardize that. We'll study this in the second course in PUP3043. But for right now, it's something you might want to think about. But for right now, I could just, of the remaining 5 variables, pick 5 that I think make the most sense in order to determine a set of variables to look at. In this case, I'm looking at education. Likewise, for poverty, you'll follow the same steps.